Boo. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you a few of my paranormal experiences. Since I was very young, I've always felt connected to this other world. I've had a lot of experiences. I've always felt like I could feel spirits or ghosts, whatever you want to call them. And today I decided that I'm going to share a few of the stories that stood out the most to me. These are simply my own experiences, things that I've seen, things that I've felt, things that really might not make sense to a lot of people. I feel like a lot of these paranormal stories or experience videos seem to always have a disclaimer in the beginning saying, oh, if you're not a believer in ghosts or whatever, I'm not trying to force you into believing. And yeah, that's true, I'm not trying to force you into believing, but the truth is that I experience these things, meaning that I know that there is an afterlife or that ghosts do exist. Maybe some spirits stay here with us and others do move on, but there is no doubt in my mind that these things exist because these are things that I experienced. This happened. So if you're interested in hearing all about my amazing and spooky paranormal experiences, please keep on watching. So to start off, when I was very young, I've always felt and I always saw things that I didn't quite have the explanation for because I was so young and I didn't really think, I really didn't think twice about them, to be honest. So to me, those things were normal. But one of the stories that stand out the most to me, and it kind of connects to other stories, is the one that I'm going to tell you right now. So I was living here in Miami already. I lived with my mom and my stepdad at the time, and this was the second house that we had here in Miami. My mom was basically a single mom, even though my stepdad was involved. But since she was a single mom and she supported me 150%, she had to take on 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. So I was alone most of the time. I was home alone. I was in elementary school, and I remember that I would come home from school on the private bus and I would basically be alone until like 8:30 at night. So one of the things that our parents have always told us when we were young and that we had engraved into our minds was, don't open the door if there's not an adult home. So my mom would always tell me, ignore the door. If somebody rings the doorbell, don't answer. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Trust me, I had that installed in my brain, and there was no way that I was ever going to open the door to a stranger, or honestly, she wouldn't even let me open the door to a family member sometimes. Like, if she didn't tell me that somebody was going to go to the house, I was not allowed to open the door. So it had been several times that people had knocked on the door and rang the doorbell, and I completely ignored it, how I was supposed to. But on this one day, somebody knocked on the door, and without even thinking twice about it, I went ahead and I opened the door. I didn't even check who it was. I don't know, something took over me and I didn't think twice. I opened the door, and once I opened the door, it's like if I woke up and I was like, oh my god, what did I just do? I wasn't supposed to open the door. And there was a man standing outside. I couldn't see his face, but he was dressed in all black, and that's all I saw. He was dressed in all black and he was carrying a suitcase, some type of like old school type of like suitcase. So as soon as I realized what I had done, I immediately just closed the door on this man's face, locked it, and just moved on with my life. I kept on looking to see if he had left, and yeah, he had left. And that was it. I went upstairs to lay down on my bed, and to explain how my room was set up a little bit, I had a bed that was moved up towards the wall. And on top of my bed, I had 2 huge shelves installed into the wall. And on top of those shelves, I had a million books and dictionaries and just a collection of heavy, huge books. Now, alone from how heavy all those books were, those shelves that were installed on my wall were extremely heavy, meaning that not even my stepdad was able to hold them up by himself. Like, he needed help from like 2 other guys to pick those up. So if those were to fall on me, I would probably be seriously hurt, honestly, if not dead. So why were they on top of my bed? I have no idea. I ask myself that question all the time, Mom. So on this day, I went upstairs after that happened and I laid down on my bed and I was reading a book. Once I laid down, the phone starts ringing. I couldn't find the phone. For some reason, it wasn't where it was supposed to be. So I ran downstairs. I picked up the phone in the kitchen that wasn't wireless. I picked it up. I'm like, hello? And silence. And it wasn't the silence that you could hear that there was like nobody on the other line. Like, I could definitely hear like at least movement on the other side. Like, there was somebody there. It wasn't just like a flat line. So nobody answers, so I hang up. I run back upstairs. When I'm halfway up the stairs, the phone rings again. I go down the stairs once again. I pick up the phone. Hello? Nobody there. There I go again, running back up the stairs. Once I reach the top of the stairs, I hear a super loud sound. I go check in my room, and both of the bookshelves were just on top of my bed. They had completely collapsed, and I literally just froze. I couldn't believe it. I didn't take it as if somebody was trying to hurt me. I took it as whoever this was that was calling the phone was protecting me. They knew that I had to go downstairs to answer the phone, and I feel like they kept me out of harm's way. I don't know, that's how I see it. I believe in that stuff, so you can take it as is. Years after, I'm in high school. I think I was a sophomore or a junior. I'm not entirely sure. We had moved to another house here in Miami, and I was also alone most of the time because my mom worked. So I would come home from high school and I would just literally have the house to myself. So in this house, I had 2 dogs, and they were outside dogs, huge dogs, 2 German Shepherds. I'm there minding my own business. I think I was watching TV, and all of a sudden, my dogs start barking like crazy. These dogs do not stop barking. So I go outside to check where they are, and they weren't right there like in the little hangout area. I had to go around like the bar area, past the pool, towards the side, like where people usually keep their like garbage cans and where the pool filter is, all of that. So I get to that area and my dogs are barking at this man that's dressed all in black and is holding a suitcase. In that moment, I was like, that's so Raven, and I had a flashback, a vision, whatever, to the day years back when I had opened the door at my old house and there was the man standing dressed in black holding the suitcase. What? I ran. I literally ran inside of my house and I locked all the doors. I made sure that all the sliding doors were locked, and that was basically it for that story. Now, to give you more information on this new house that I was living at, in the process of looking for a house, my mom and I and my stepdad, we went on quite a search to find this house that we wanted. Once our realtor told us about this house, we were so excited. We went the same day to go check it out. But there was definitely something weird going on, because once we went inside the house, it was the most disgusting, nastiest, most dirtiest place I've ever seen in my life. You know how usually when somebody's trying to sell their house, they have it clean and nice and just nice so people would buy the house? Well, it wasn't the case with this guy. Apparently it was this single guy that was living in this house. a huge house, so I don't know why he was living there. But he had like a nasty old mattress with like dirty sheets in the middle of the living room, no furniture, that was the only thing there. A dining room table with literally like garbage on top of the table. Kitchen was the same thing, the family room was the same thing. We went outside, there were bottles, beer bottles, absolutely everywhere, just thrown, like if this person had just had like this huge party and didn't give an F about anything. But for some reason, my mom and I became absolutely in love. Like, we were obsessed with this house. And we knew that we could clean it up and make it nice and blah blah blah, so we got the house. Now, moving on to the cleaning day, the day before we were gonna move into the house. We went in, we started cleaning everything, and it got to the point where we went to the backyard, and towards the side of the house had this little shed. So we went in there, we started cleaning it out, and my mom finds that in this corner of the shed, there were a whole bunch of voodoo dolls, I guess you could call them. There were voodoo dolls, there were just weird stuff. My mom didn't really let me look at it that much. I think she thought I was gonna get creeped out or something, but I love this type of stuff, so I don't know. But I know that we found voodoo dolls and a whole bunch of weird ritual type things. So months after we've been living in this house, we start noticing a couple of weird things. For example, somebody walking up and down the stairs at night. Yeah, the stairs were wooden stairs, and I know that wood floors and stairs, they creak now and then, but I am not talking about a creak here and there. This was definitely something going up the stairs, and I could hear it perfectly because my room was the one that as soon as you would reach the top of the stairs, my room was directly to the right of that. So you couldn't even take like a step before you were in my room. Like, it was right there. So I would hear absolutely everything. And this would happen like at 4 in the morning every single night. And I wasn't the only one that would hear it. My mom would hear it as well. She would also hear movement and noises in her room and in her bathroom in her room. So yeah, I wasn't the only one. There was one particular night which it was quite interesting, to say the least. I was having a difficult time sleeping, but I remember I was just laying down on my bed, you know, on my phone, just like trying to pass the time because I wasn't tired at all. And it became so late that I was like, okay, you know, I need to like at least close my eyes and try to go to sleep. So I put my phone away and I closed my eyes. Now, I need to make it very clear that I was not sleeping. I was not about to fall asleep. I was not tired, so I was wide awake. The only thing I did was close my eyes for literally 3 seconds. So I closed my eyes, and once I closed my eyes, I just had a feeling that there was something literally right in front of my face. So when I felt that, I opened my eyes right away, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I felt this pressure on top of my body. I couldn't move. I couldn't even move a finger. And it was just like if a 200-pound person was just laying on top of me. And for some reason, I didn't freak out. I was not scared. I didn't think that something bad was going to happen to me because, again, I'm kind of a freak and I'm into these things. But I did try to scream, so maybe my mom would hear me. I couldn't scream, I couldn't move, and I decided to just chill. So weird. I decided to just chill until it went away. Minutes passed and it did not go away, so at this point I started trying to like fight it, and I tried to move out of this hold that I was in. Until finally I was able to throw myself off of the bed and I started crawling towards the door. Now, once I crawled to the door, I felt somebody grab my ankles and they gave me a little tug. I'm not talking, this was not some like Paranormal Activity type thing where they like dragged me under the bed. No, like this is not that dramatic. but somebody definitely gave me a little like tug where I did go back a little bit. Once that happened, for some reason, I was not freaking out. I was like, what? Like, I was just so confused, and I just turned on the lights and I sat on my bed and I didn't sleep for the whole night. But that's the end of the story. I don't have an explanation for what happened. I don't know anything about what that meant, and it has never happened again, and it's been years later. So I don't know if that had something to do with the house, or maybe somebody had died in that house. I have no idea. I honestly didn't do research on it. But yeah, that's my story of my paranormal experiences. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have a lot of more experiences, so if you guys like this story, don't forget to comment below or thumbs up this video so I know that you guys want more of these videos. Thank you guys for watching so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Casper the friendly ghost. Casper the friendly ghost. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys like that I'm weird as F. Alright, my mom doesn't like cursing in my videos, so I'm gonna say F. F, F, F.